A lot of baseball news. Jim Leyland stepping down as the manager of the Tigers. World Series gets underway on Wednesday and seems like a great time to bring in Sean Casey, part of MLB Network's MLB Tonight, which airs live before and after every World Series game. You can visit findmlbnetwork.com for your local channel listings. You played for Jim Leyland in Detroit for a couple of years. Sean, your thoughts about him stepping down?
Well, I mean, I figured he would do it in the next couple of years. I am a little shocked he did it, right now with how good of a team he has and how great of a job he does every year. I mean, I was there in 2006 when with Skip's first year there, and he changed the culture. I mean, he really changed the culture from a culture that was, a perennial loser into that, we're not going to take this anymore. We need to go out there and start winning ball games, and they've won every year he's been there. So it's I think for me, it's a sad day because, I love seeing Jimmy Leyland out there. I'm a big fan of his and a friend of his, and I know the Tiger fans love him. I know the players in that clubhouse love him. But, obviously he's ready to, have some time off with his family and Katie and just enjoy life here in Pittsburgh.
I saw where the Dodgers reportedly offered Clayton Kershaw $300 million during the season. And his agent, and I guess Clayton said, let's table this till after the season. Why would you wait?
I wouldn't wait. If they offered me $300 million, I'd say, where do I sign right now? That's like winning the big-time lottery right there.
Is he worth it?
I mean, he's so young, and obviously that's where that you're starting to see that's where salaries are going. It's tough, I think, DP, for to really project starting pitchers with guys getting injured at some point during your career. But if there's one guy that you would give $300 million to in a market like out in L.A., that would be Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, I can't. I know he's 25, but what's wrong with a nice, great 5-year deal? Why do I have right?
Hey, they couldn't. I mean, Albert Pujols wanted 10. They said, okay, we'll give it to you 10, and look how that's working out. I'm saying Clayton Kershaw is 25 years old, and he doesn't want a 5-year deal. He wants more than that, and he's going to get it from somebody.
Well, Robinson Cano, I wouldn't give him a 10-year deal. I'd give him 5 at the most.
I know, but someone else is going to give him more than that. You know what I mean? That if the Yankees don't do it, the Dodgers don't do it for these guys, someone else is going to give them what they want, and they're going to be out of there. So you got to overpay a little bit.
Well, but if you said to the Angels, would you do that deal again with Pujols, what would they say?
I'd say right now, I think they'd say no.
Yeah.
No chance.
Well, they brought him in for 5 years. They knew they were going to get maybe 5 good years out of him. And if they won a World Series, then you could validate that. But, it's a terrible deal. Teixeira's deal with the Yankees is bad. Prince Fielder's is bad. All these long-term deals, it's rare when you get a long-term deal and you say, you know what, that worked out for both.
Right, and when you look at the Pujols thing, you're right. But they got so much money in the local TV deals. There's so much money flowing out there now that you could justify saying 10 years. Okay, we'll get 5 or 6 good ones, and we'll just wear the next 4. But we brought a good fan base in, and we brought excitement for the TV deal.
$300 million.
What would you do with $300 million, DP? Would you still have the radio show?
Yes, I would. Absolutely.
That's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would probably get better Danettes, though. I'd probably be able to spend a little bit more. We're talking to Sean Casey.
You're bringing some better talent than you have right now, huh?
Yeah, I'd bring in some shorties over there. Sean Casey from the Major League Baseball Network joining us. World Series, I saw where Adam Wainwright said if Waka is ready to go, he would have no problem stepping aside and letting him pitch, go with a hot hand. What do you think about that?
Wow. I mean, we talk about what Waka's been doing. He's been almost unhittable. I mean, and for Wainwright to say that, too, is obviously one of the best pitchers in the game on that same staff. I think it lines up good with if you go Wainwright game 1, Waka game 2. I think that's what they're going to end up doing. But I mean, Waka has been absolutely lights out, especially with that fastball changeup combo. I mean, he's almost been unhittable.
Yeah, but who would you go with? If I said you could pick right now, both healthy.
Right now, I'd go Wainwright game 1.
Why?
Because I just think he's got great stuff. I mean, this guy's battle tested. He's their leader. He's the guy you throw out there game 1, you bring Waka back game 2. I mean, Wainwright's got unhittable stuff, too, when he's on, just like Waka is.
Who should be favored?
Who should be favored in the World Series?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to think the Cardinals, just with that staff right now, the way they're pitching. I think their bullpen has been unbelievable. and that lineup, and then getting Craig back. I mean, who knows how good he's going to be, but getting Craig back into that lineup at some point with the DH. But they're two, I mean, comparable teams as far as their lineups go and their bullpens. But I think in that starting staff with the way Wainwright and Walker are pitching right now, I mean, I'd have to favor the Cardinals.
We had a lot of chatter about home plate collisions. We saw that in the Tigers series with the Red Sox. Your thoughts on outlawing the collision at the plate?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's part of the game. I think if you take away the plate as a catcher, then you're going to get run over. Man,
but what's the etiquette when you're rounding third? Let's say that if the catcher's blocking the plate, then you're going to try to run him over, right?
If he's blocking the plate and I can't see the plate, I got to run him over. I mean, how else am I going to get there? That's the whole point. As a runner, I'm coming into the plate and he's blocking it. What am I going to do? Slide into him? I got to get him out of the way or try and draw the ball free. But I mean, there are guys that when the catcher's not taking is off the plate a little bit. But there are some guys that still go after the catchers, which obviously that's not okay. Bottom line is, if you're blocking the plate, you're going to get hit, and I don't think they should outlaw that rule.
Yeah, I think if the catcher's going to set up shop there, then he leaves me no choice but to run him over. But if I can see the plate, then I might have to slide around him. But I don't know. I don't think you can outlaw that and say if you crush a catcher. I don't want to see what happened to Buster Posey or some of these other guys.
No.
But it is part of the game, and I think catchers bring on a lot of this because they sit there and block the plate.
Yeah, and I think a catcher, though, would say, like Avila and Ross the other night. I mean, Avila's blocking the plate. Ross hits him clean. It was totally a clean play. Ross pats him on the butt, and there are two catchers going at it. I think if you asked a catcher, should they outlaw that play, most of them would say no.
Did you ever have a collision at the plate?
Yeah, I had a couple collisions.
Anything worth telling me about?
I mean, not really. I think one time I remember coming around and hit Michael Barrett right before the ball got to him, and he went flying, and I was safe. And then he was like, "Hey, I didn't even have the ball," and I was like, "Yeah, but you were blocking the plate. What do you want me to do?"
I don't think he's laughing, right?
No, he wasn't laughing.
No, okay,
but next day I was like, "Sorry, my bad."
Who's your pick for the World Series?
Man, I tell you what. I mean, I probably have to go with the Cardinals in 7.
7.
It's going to be a long series. It's going to be a back-to-back. It's going to be a battle back and forth, and I think eventually that pitching staff wins out.
Good to visit with you as always. We'll be watching. Thank you, Sean.
All right, DP. Great talking to you, big man.
All right, Sean Casey, part of MLB Tonight on the Major League Baseball Network. You can find MLBnetwork.com. Check your local listings there.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.